little intro on there. When I go back and edit it up, put the little intro on there, shave stuff out, cut stuff out, make it to be under 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Do it like that. Man, I sleep all day, saying
For real?
Man. I can't, cause these folks, I ain't leaving these folks up there.
Hell nah. You don't do that.
Come back, everything be gone.
Boy, you're
real quick. For real.
Little tattoo out there, nigga.
Man. But dude, so that's one I'm worried about. He got them all on his face. I ain't worried about the other dude. He look like he gonna take something real.
Like, what's that?
For real. But he the one came in. He the one came and talked. He was like, man, y'all got a piece of blunt down there. It's like, damn, bro. See, he paying attention to all that type of shit. That was, oh yeah, I know I need to watch you. It ain't nothing but this. It wasn't nothing but that damn big, but he spotted it though.
He wanted it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
He wanted it here.
Watching for real.
Trappy production.
Yeah, quit playing on that sucker shit. That's how that cannon come out and start plucking shit. Nigga, quit playing on that sucker shit. Quit playing on that sucker shit. Yeah, quit playing on that sucker shit. That's how that cannon come out.
Y'all welcome back to the Sick of Sucker Shit podcast, man. It's your boy Combo, man, on Ambitious GrindTv, man. I got my dog with me today, man, you know what I'm saying? Walt baby, Walter Sims, you know what I'm saying? Man, got something good going on, man, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'll tell y'all, that's what I'll be trying to do, man. Put the spotlight on people that's from my city that got positive things jumping off, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got stories, me and him can go back and tell you way back from the 90s, you know what I'm saying? But as time go by, people got to grow, you know what I'm saying? Better themselves, man. It's got on some good stuff, man. Kind of let the folks know what's up, man. Introduce yourself, man. Let the folks know what you got going on, man.
Oh, man. Known around the hood as Walt Baby, man. I am Minister Sims now. I had to change it up because I started to see life different, and I started to want to make different choices for myself and want to try to change some things to understand that life was starting to revolve around whatever choice that I made, and them circumstances had to become different.
Right.
So, no, just to dive off into it, man. I come out the hood, man. I'm off Pike all day long, man.
Right,
Silver
right.
City Courts. Born and raised around that way, man. Taught by everything that I seen. Everyone that was around that way, I idolized the streets. I idolized everything that I saw in the streets, man, and I picked up real quick. And it wasn't too long for me to be able to get in the vibe of what was going on around there, man. I caught hip to it, and everybody saw who I was. I earned a name for myself like real quick.
Right.
And it didn't take no time for that. From the schoolyard to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew who I was. And that reputation carried me off into places that I was honored in, you know. And to be honest with you, as my life started to change, that reputation didn't change. And still that reputation still lay in the eyes of some people that know me today, but to get to know who I am today is very different because that reputation no longer precedes me. I have a different reputation that precedes me now. Who I was in those streets and in those schoolyards, I fight, or should I say that I live to get the young man that I was to understand that every choice has a circumstance to it. And those circumstances, man, basically taught me a lot that I'm able to teach young men today. And as I speak about that, this is my program. It's called Sim Strategic Mentoring. SIM strategic mentoring. It stemmed. I'm gonna go back. It actually stems from me doing my music, and as I was doing the music, I know we got into a point where we was actually doing shows, and I was going around and I was booking shows around Little Rock because I didn't just want to be the performer myself. I actually wanted to bring guys in that I knew from the streets and that had a rap skill to come in and build ourselves a platform off of what I was trying to put out there. But as I did that, I was trying to go deeper off into that. A lot of guys, they didn't want to invest in what I had going on because I was ready to take that whole thing on the road. But unfortunately, that dream didn't work out as quite as I planned that it would work out. So when I went and talked to a business owner, and I talked to him about how I could be able to turn my ideal into a business, they wrote up a business plan for me. And that business plan, it developed into how I can be able to help children do music. So as I went forward with trying to build a platform for children, trying to develop artists or children as artists into the music, it started out as a mentoring thing. So I could never actually purchase a studio because I don't know how to really just work the equipment and all that stuff like that. I didn't really know how to work that equipment, and at the time I didn't really know who I could really fool with to just do it. So the person that I did actually go to, I was going to their studio and we had something set up. It didn't really work out because they was kind of dropping out the game at the time. And then another guy that I actually got with, for some reason it couldn't work out in that area, so I started speaking to God about it. And I was like, Lord, maybe it's not meant for me to pursue that particular purpose. Maybe it's meant for me to pursue something else. But what I saw rising out of that situation was the fact that I was helping kids. Because the kids was listening to what I was, they was listening to the story, and they was listening to what I was saying, and it was actually helping them develop as a person. So I saw that, and I felt like God was like sitting in those situations telling me, hey, this is what I want to see progress in your life. So it ended up being a mentoring program. So the music went from music to mentoring. So as we established the mentoring program, man, today,
what year you started?
2017. I actually started with a group of kids, and I actually went to their parents and asked, could they help me with a small project? And this small project stemmed from us walking around the neighborhoods. We was going door to door, and we was asking the neighbors how would they be interested in improving their neighborhoods, and what do they think about their neighborhood would need improving. So the neighbors said a lot about the parks, and they talked about the children's being in the street playing basketball. They talked about curfews. They talked about the children tearing up stuff. And when they saw the children, what I did was I allowed the children to walk up to the door and talk to the neighbors themselves. And as the neighbors saw that the children were being initiative, I kind of stood back off and I took notes on how the children, on how they were reacting and their approach. You know what I'm saying? And then their response to whatever the neighbor was saying. So as I took the notes when they came down, I kind of told them, hey, you was good at this and you did this right, but you need to work on this. You know what I'm saying? Because later on down in life, you're gonna have to deal with something like that. When you're walking up and you're in that interview, it's like presenting yourself in front of a person in an interview. So I told him you have to present yourself and you have to have confidence in your image when you present yourself. So we worked on that more and more, and every day I awarded them. I either took them out to eat, I either took them to the movies or something, or I threw a barbecue for them every time. And it kind of stemmed from there to me ending up in school. In 2019, I ended up in the schools in Little Rock. But before that, I was actually working with Little Rock, the VIPS office, volunteers in public schools. I was working with them. I was going in, working as a scholar going into the 8th and 9th grade, talking to them about the things that they need to pay attention to in school right now, and how important that their transcripts are going to affect whatever they do from the 8th grade on up to when they get out of school.
Right.
And it's going to affect the fact that if they try to get a job, and even their behavior, because a lot of kids feel like their behavior won't go on any kind of thing, but your behavior,
They watching everything.
yeah, your behavior actually goes on your record when you try to get your first job, or when you go into college or something like that. If you want to further your education, these people look at how you behave while you're in school,
Right.
and they're not gonna want to take you if you haven't had that intact. You know,
Right.
so as we went about, you know, the mentoring program, it progressed in the school. I didn't have all the resources that I needed. You know what I'm saying? Then the COVID hit around about the end of, I think it was end of 2019 to 2020. Around 2020, the COVID hit right at the time that I was in the school. So what that helped me do, because that became a blessing, I actually could sit back and I could actually progress a lot of the development of the program to expand it in areas that it needed, where I could really be able to help the children.
Right.
So fast forward today, I'm still working with you. I work with the Pulaski County Juvenile Detention Center right now, but I also still work in the schools. But I'm not quite working in the schools. The schools just refer students to my program right now. And we can't. What we do in the program is I work with kids in their behavior. I work with them on far as career development, how to deal with self-discipline, and we also practice self-discipline before defense. It's a tactic in where we'll use combat and where we'll use punching drills to help them deal with anger.
Right. It helped them release some of that anger that built up. Because I know when I was little, I mean, I ain't gonna say little, but you know, back in the day, we walked around with all type of anguish and anger problems in us. We didn't ever know how to vent, and a lot of us didn't even have people to even talk to about the situation.
Right,
That's why I like
right.
what you got going on, because
Right.
I know we stomp the similar paths, you know what I'm saying?
man.
Similar stuff. That's why I say I like what you're doing. You giving the young guys and young women a chance to vent out, because we familiar with what they going through. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I had a bad anger problem when I was young, man. It was uncontrollable.
You know I know.
It was uncontrollable, man, and for some reason I couldn't grip it. It was like when it was ignited, it was like nobody could tell me anything, and nobody could talk to me. It was like I couldn't even control what I said, and I couldn't control what I did.
Right.
And I felt like God pushed me out into that field at an early age because he made me get control of it.
Right.
And now I have the control where I can be able to help somebody else control theirs. But not only did that stem from my own self-control, but when I went into the schools back in 2019, I consulted with the counselor in the school, and she said, before you come into the school and try to do your mentoring, I want you to go sit in the classroom, and I want you to see what's going on firsthand. And as I sat in the back of each classroom, I go in each class, and I sat in the back of the class, and I saw the behaviors of the kids, and I saw the behaviors of the teachers, and I saw how the teachers had to deal with multiple students that had corruptible attitudes and behaviors. And these kids, I saw the kids before they came in the classrooms, and I saw what they were dealing with outside of the schools, how they brought it in the classrooms, and how the teachers didn't pay attention to what was going on to the kid with them personally. They was just mainly focused on trying to get them educated. But how can you educate a kid when he got so much other things going on in his life? You know, so that was something that really just it shocked my memory, and it helped me come up with that particular drill and how to be able to help the children.
All right. Well, while we were talking about teachers, I got a question about the teachers. What do you think? You know, I got teenagers. What do you think the teachers in these schools could do better? Because nowadays it seems like now they, you know, when I went to school, it was like the teacher helped you. Now the teachers like kind of like putting the stuff back on. Well, the parents need to step up. Is it the teachers who need to step up? The parents, the teachers are. Then some kids don't got parents though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I can say this for the most part, man. For us being African American, and I ain't really just trying to stem it in one direction. That a lot of us come from unstable homes, unbalanced homes.
Right.
We got one parent we dealing with.
Right.
So, and that one parent can only show us one side of life.
Right.
So that parent has so much on them that they're dealing with.
Right.
So, but at the same time, you can't really blame the parent for having to deal with those issues, because these kids, when they come to school, you got a teacher that's in a classroom, about 25 or 30 kids.
Right.
So how are you going to pay attention to one child or one or more children that have an issue in your classroom when you can just get rid of that one that's acting up in the classroom and deal with the rest of them that's not giving you as much trouble as the other one is? But as I grew up, man, I was always told, man, it take a village.
Exactly.
It take a village to raise a child. So everybody has to be involved in being able to be able to help this child develop into who they need to be. So I think for the most part, a teacher has to play their part in being who they are. You don't have to have an answer for a child, and you don't have to be able to solve their problems, but you do have to show something in your character.
Right.
You do have to show who you are in your character to let that child see and know that you're operating at a high state of mind.
Right.
And it helps that child figure out, wait a minute, if they're operating at that state of mind, or they're treating me like this and they're still being in a humble state, that I can respect that, because love conquers all at the end of the day. For that child, for that teacher to be who they need to be, for that counselor to be who they need to be, for that principal and that parent, and I can't even stress how bad that we need mentors today.
Right.
So for each one of us in that child's life to be who we need to be, it takes all of us being able to be in that child's life who we should be. Right. So I mean, to be honest with you, man, it's a hardship. It's a hardship on parents, and I take my hat off to the ones that's actually doing it, especially raising young black men. And I take my hat off to the teachers too, because they have a lot to deal with in the school system, but they continuously and consistently come back each day. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we're all in this fight together. And whatever we can be able to do to help these children, man, I think we need to put our foot forward. Yeah,
we do need to do that. I'm going to say one thing about the teachers. I do agree. Y'all need to be paid way more money than what y'all pay for what y'all deal with. Because I remember one day I went to the middle school over here on the north and to take my kid up there, and I'm talking about it was wild west in that thing, man. I'm talking about kids were running wild everywhere. And I was like, man, I know I can't be no teacher or nothing like that, man.
Yeah, it's a hard job.
Man, I know it is, man. I know it is. But
that's hard.
That just that cemented in my mind. I was like, yeah, they need to break these teachers out way more money than what they paying. If they just making $25,000, $30,000 a year, y'all need to bump that up to about 50, 45 or 50 or something. Give them a 2-week paid free vacation or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they definitely underpaid and they underprivileged because they don't get the recognition that they should get.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a lot.
All right, you know, neighborhood we come from, man. Have you visited? And you went through there or anything? Man,
I just went through there the other day, man. It looked like a ghost town.
I know, right?
It's like everything has changed around there. But every time I can drive down one of them blocks, I can look through one of those streets and I can remember something that went down over there. I can remember late nights, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, when I would be walking around there and just doing what I would do, just thinking that, man, for some reason, we was able and we was equipped to survive.
Exactly.
And I mean, just being able to survive something like that and then be sitting here today, man, I can't even count the many blessings I got.
Yeah, I know, cause I do it a lot. I still, you know what I'm saying, frequent the neighborhood or whatnot, because I still be trying to stay in touch. This is my question to you, like, man, I just said this on a recent episode of the podcast, man, like, where the big homies at, man?
Well, a lot of them, man, not here right now. And then you got some, man, they still kind of trapped in what they call issues that they're dealing with from back then.
Yeah.
A lot of them out here, they just trying to survive, man.
Yeah.
They trying to survive, and a lot of them then moved on. Me, for myself, for the most part, man, I'm staying grounded is the most important part. Like you say, you go back and forth. You gotta stay in touch. I stay grounded, man. If I see somebody I grew up with, I will not ignore the fact that I know them. Right. I have to acknowledge people that I know. Because you got it. Let me tell you something. When you come from somewhere and then you always feel like you don't have to pay attention to where you come from or who you came or what you came up around and who you was with at that time, then you're ignoring your past. Don't ignore your past. Please. You have to pay attention to your past. Your past is something that's most important. I didn't say live in your past because you shouldn't live in it, but you should always pay attention to it because it's a part of who you are in the future.
Right. That's why I be tapped in. That area down there, I hold that area so close to my heart because, like you say, up and down them streets, you remember all type of stuff that happened, what you did here and there and there and there. I don't want the folks that's coming up behind us right now to not have the resources to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Not just on Pike, just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But specifically because Pike, you know what I'm saying? That I hold that close to my heart.
Right.
Like the Salvation Army not even open no more. They don't want you going to the Salvation Army. Too many cars out there. The police want to pull up. It ain't no place for people to for youngsters to you know what I'm saying? Summer school finna be out. It finna be summertime. What these kids finna do, man? You know what I'm saying? If like you saying, more mentors. If we don't got people that steady in their ear, say, man, don't put that stick in that thing, you know what I'm saying? Put that thing down, or you know what I'm saying? Come over here, let's shoot some pool, shoot some basketball, let's go swimming like it used to be, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like, man, us from where we come from, man, we owe it to the streets, man. I think we owe the streets to give them the knowledge. They say the game is to be showed, not told, but let me tell you something, man. Don't lay down without giving that game away.
Right.
That game ain't something that you need to be paying or somebody has to pay you for to get.
Right.
And if you want to call it game, I'm gonna call it life.
Right.
And it's something that is, I think we have it, and it was given to us.
Right.
And we have to be able to share what was given to us. Right. Because if you keep what was given to you, then how would it be able to grow? And you grow through that.
Yeah. And I'm just to keep in thing with the podcast.
Right.
That's some sucker shit. If you got game and you ain't giving it to these youngsters out here, man, that's sucker shit, bro.
Man, sucker.
For real. You got to pass that game. You learn something, man, you pass that down. Stay in these youngsters' ear, man, because we done been through that, man. That's why I love what Walt got going on right now, man. You see somebody that was deep, I'm talking about quicksand deep in the streets, you know what I'm saying? To see what this brother got going on now, man. Brother, I commend you, brother. You know what I'm saying? And keep going and keep on going and doing what you're doing, man. Like you got the young brother with you right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Just for my eyes, he was telling me that while we were texting back and forth over the phone. I was like, man, bring him up here, man, so we can see, he can hear what we talking about, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
That's mentor. That's big homie stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Because this young man, he got a lot of situations going on. I don't want to put him out there like that because I know he probably don't want to be exposed. But helping young men find their identity in today's life is very important. Because if they go through a life process without finding out who they are first, man, it's misrepresentation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we have, us, I mean, we survived. Right. We survived it. for us to be here today, we owe it.
Right.
We owe it to anybody that's younger to us. And like he said, man, if you got it, give it.
I'm telling you.
For real. That's what you survived today for, to be able to give it.
Pass that game, man.
Pass it down, man. For real.
Please don't be holding it, man. Anybody that was in our era that grew up, man, you know you knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying? You a good, decent dude, man. You got some young, man, give that game to these youngsters, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them to go pick that pistol up. Tell them go get on these books or something, man. Tell them to do anything but what that is, because you know that's on the two ways where that's gonna lead to. Penitentiary or the jailhouse. You know what I'm talking about? Please get a game, man. Or dead, for real. Well, I said penitentiary jailhouse. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
The penitentiary or the graveyard. You know what I'm
locked
saying?
up or jail.
For real.
It's on the two places, man. And I ain't never seen nobody beat it.
For real.
Like I was telling them, man, I got a couple of more things I want to say. I was explaining to this young brother about how the rappers and the musicians and the actors get it today. They get it off of their skills. Their skills is a key that unlock a door that put them in places that they always wanted to be in life.
Right.
But they don't live the life that they rap about. When you see them on the screens, they don't live those lives. They live a completely different life. They live a life of being responsible.
Right.
Because what they always told us when we was out there rapping is 10% talent, 90% business.
Exactly.
So business is your responsibility.
Right.
You being something that somebody don't even see is your responsibility.
Right. Boy, you just dropped the gem in, bro. That's real spill though, man. That's real talk, man. Yeah, be about your business, man.
You got to, man.
The business of you. You know what I'm saying? You got to get you situated in order to have, you know what I'm saying, so you can branch out and do other things. If you got family, if you ain't situated, 9 times out of 10, your family ain't gonna be situated. You know what I'm saying?
They depending on you.
I'm telling you, be about the business of yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on it right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't all the way there, but I'm working on it.
We both is, man. Hey, I wake up. It's one thing about success that I gotta tell people that's most important, man. Success is not something that all of a sudden just happen in your life. Success is something that you wake up every day and you strive toward. It's your decision that you make every day when you wake up. When you decide to be better at what you're going to do, that's what success is. It adds up to habits that you pick up in your life.
I'm telling you, man. And on that note, man, tell the folks where they can reach you at, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you can reach me online. I got a YouTube channel. It's called Minister Walter Sims. You can reach me on Facebook as Walter Sims. You can reach me on IG as Sims Strategic Mentor. You can basically reach me online, period, as Sims Strategic Mentor. You can Google that name in and you'll pick up my program. If you wanna sign your kid up, if you wanna become a mentor, please give me a call at 501-541-9178.
Yeah, man, y'all heard him, man. Connect with Walt, man. He got something good going on, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, brother.
Man,
coming through, messing with me, man. You know what I'm talking about, bro? Real dude stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, it's your boy Combo, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the YouTube channel up, subscribe, man. Y'all follow me on Instagram at it's OBMOC1 on Instagram, and then GrindTv2 GrindTv2 for the Ambitious GrindTv page, my man. Then on YouTube too, man. Y'all just mess with me, man. Sick Suck Shit podcast, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Talking about plug in with us. You know what I'm talking about?
Trappy production.
Yeah, quit playing on that sucker shit. That's how that cannon come out and start plucking shit. Nigga, quit playing on that sucker shit. Quit playing on that sucker shit. Yeah, quit playing on that sucker shit. That's how that cannon come